Well, hey guys, my name is George Namachanja, and I'm very happy to be coming to you live from a church here at Ngara. I just like to talk about this thing called faith. I've not done this before, so this is hopefully the first of many videos. They should be coming your way at least once every week. So today I'm going to discuss on the issue called faith, and I know the chapter that comes to mind when we all hear about faith is Hebrews 11, and that it lists all the heroes of the faith and the things that they were able to achieve. We read about Samson and how he was able to conquer the Philistines, and he used basically, if you read the Old Testament, you might think that Samson used his physical strength, but then Hebrews tells us that it was by faith. It says that by faith. Then you read David, and also when you read in Kings, we don't hear any mention of faith. You just hear about his level of skill and patience and his heart for God and his love. But then we realize later on that the writer of Hebrews, who by the way I think is Paul, the writer says that by faith. He says by faith, Abraham, by faith. So it will seem to me that faith is the thing, because if every hero of the Old Testament, if every hero in the past was able to do the very things that we look at and admire, and we say that those things were able to be done by faith, then I think faith is the it. Faith is the thing. So obviously you know the definition of faith from Hebrews 11 1 says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So faith is a substance. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. So faith is not abstract, like out there in the air. Faith is a substance. So faith is matter. It's something you can hold. Okay? There's some noise here, so let me just close the door. Sorry about that. So faith is a substance. Is a substance of things hoped for. This means that when you have nothing to show off, if you have nothing to boast of, faith is that substance. And if you go in a court of law, there are two things they ask for. The first one is the witness. The witness will come and take the stand and say what they saw, what they heard, what they felt with their senses. But the second thing, which is equally as important, is the evidence. One of these two things can actually prove that the accuser is guilty or is innocent. So the evidence is material proof. The evidence is proof. So the writer of Hebrews is saying that faith is the evidence of things hoped for. It's saying that you can take it to the bank, that you can take faith to the bank. That if you have faith, then you as well have the thing that you're hoping for. Okay? there's a version that says that faith is a rebuttal of those things which can be seen. In other words, faith makes a mockery of the things which can be seen. In other words, faith is the realest of things. Like if you have faith for something, then that faith in itself is very much alive. Okay? So Jesus says in Mark 11:23 up to 24 that nothing shall be impossible to whoever believes. That if you have faith for something, that there's no way you could believe for something and it doesn't come to happen. Jesus says that if you just have faith even as small as a mustard seed, then you'll be able to move mountains. So faith is the real deal. This is we continued, and I'll get back to you later. Thank you.